This trip was like no trip I have ever experienced.
That big old king just down there shaking his head, 40-pounder going, rawr.
In it, I caught the biggest fish of my life. This trip will go down in my books as one of the best trips I've ever experienced. To start this trip, we woke up early one Friday morning, packed our bags, and left for the San Francisco airport.
You guys ready to be pumped up, get some fish, or what?
The flight wasn't too long, and within a few hours, we arrived safely at Vancouver Airport. This airport has some very unique art themed to the native British Columbian tribes. After settling in, we went in search of the local Vancouver area tackle shop.
The tackle shop.
Yeah, cookies.
If you're ever in the Vancouver area, be sure to hit up Pacific Angler. The guys there are great. They hooked us up within a few minutes with all the gear we needed for our trip, and we were set to set off the next morning.
It's gonna catch a big one.
The next morning, we set out to see air, and within a few hours and a fairly long wait, we finally boarded the plane and prepared for takeoff. I get to sit up front, which was quite fun and a little fun addition to the day. Takeoff went smoothly, and we were soon on our way to the beautiful Rivers Inlet of British Columbia. It was pretty cool to be in a small craft like a Seaplane, because it offered quite a great view of the local city. Flying over Vancouver, you could see all the neighborhoods and the skyline, and it was pretty neat, especially as we started heading further north and got some really pretty views of the mountain ranges and amazing expanse of untouched forests out along the British Columbian coast. It was just absolutely breathtaking to see how much beautiful untouched wilderness was actually out there, and just wide expanses of area where there were no people at all. This was definitely one of the most beautiful flights I've ever took in my entire life. Kind of crazy to think that this is where they filmed the TV series Alone. If anybody knows what kind of coniferous trees these are growing on these mountain ranges, I would love if you could put a little comment down below. The flight continued on, and we saw some beautiful fjords as well as huge peaks that were absolutely breathtaking. After about 2.5 hours, we came in for a landing at British Columbia's famous Rivers Inlet. It was amazing actually how smooth the landing was in this seaplane, just as opposed to a typical normal landing you get from a normal plane on an asphalt runway. Just landing on water is very surreal and just such an amazing experience, and it was just such a breathtaking place to land. I mean, look at it. I mean, this is insane. You have all these islands and this beautiful big expanse of the ocean. It's quite beautiful. Shortly after landing, the float plane drove us up to dock at the Rivers Inlet Sportsman's Club Lodge. It was pretty neat because all the members and staff and guides, along with the owner Simon Kelly of the lodge, all were waiting to greet us and give us a warm welcome to beautiful Rivers Inlet. The staff members quickly unpacked our bags and we found our...
We'll talk later. We're gonna rip some lip. This is red hot.
Yeah.
Got settled in our rooms, and after that watched the salmon seminar run by Simon, which is the one thing they require you to stay for before they release you to go out on your very own boat and go target the massive king and coho salmon that are native to the Rivers Inlet. Simon typically calls up a guest to come and demonstrate with him, and it was pretty funny and entertaining to watch this happen.
Hey, we got it now. All right. Fish is running. Hold the rod higher though. Stop looking at me. Fish is bouncing. Big old king just down there shaking his head, 40-pounder going, rawr, rawr, rawr. And then it screams out line. That's it. Yeah. Keep your hands away from the animal. Oh my God. Whoa. And then
I mean, this is just great. Simon's excitement and just, he's such a character, so it really livens the mood and kind of sets the vibe of the lodge, just listening to Simon do his thing. After that, everybody's assigned a boat, and we all split up in separate boats to go get on the night bite and hopefully whack the first couple fish of the trip.
First fish on, huh?
So that night, we split up. My dad actually went out and caught this monster 27-pounder. I was a little bummed because I didn't get anything big that night, but he actually got crowned king. That's a little something the lodge does. But yeah, the next day, I set out early, determined today to get on a decent-sized king salmon. Now, there's a strong run in the summer of large king salmon, and Rivers Inlet is one of the best places in the whole entire world to target these huge fish. The practice is typically done by trolling. Salmon trolling is a method where you slowly pull lures or bait behind a moving boat. You use a downrigger to drop your gear to the exact depth the salmon are swimming. Then the boat keeps moving so your lure stays in the strike zone until a salmon hits. The fishing remains somewhat slow for this portion of the day. But one of the best parts about fishing in BC isn't just the salmon, it's the place itself. Out here you're surrounded by wild, untouched coastline. Bald eagles are constantly cruising overhead or perched in the trees, watching you fish. Every now and then you'll see a humpback or a gray whale rolling in the distance. And if you're really lucky like we were, a pod of killer whales will pass right by the boat. It's one of those places where the scenery and the wildlife are just as exciting as the fishing, making it just one of those trips that you will never forget. This pod of orcas came within yards of our boat, and it was such a humbling experience to see animals far bigger than we were, cruising in such a short distance. This one right here was the male and head of the pod.
In the world.
It is such an honor to fish, surrounded by such amazing animals.
We're on.
And finally, it happened. I was hooked up on my very first ever chinook salmon.
Oh, he's a good fish. He's a good fish.
I played this fish and brought it to the boat,
Okay, careful.
and my dad
Bring him on,
got
bring him in.
a perfect net job on this fish.
Woo! Yeah, dude, we keeping that
Super
bad
duper
boy.
stoked.
Dude,
First ever
nice.
king salmon I've ever caught in my entire life.
Praise the Lord, baby.
This fish
Yeah, boy.
was just a beautiful specimen all around. I mean, look at this thing. It's just
Nice.
beautiful
Good job,
little
man.
chrome salmon.
16.
Weighed about 16 pounds on the scale.
Okay, hold that thing up, dude.
So happy about it. Really thankful to get this fish on the board. Just a little encouragement booster. I mean, the guy filleted it up. I mean, look at this meat. It's just absolutely fabulous on these fish. These are just wild. These fish are living in the cleanest water out there. I mean, these things are just perfect fish. Most of the farm salmon, they actually have to add color to, but these things are just naturally this red, which is just awesome. So that fish was a really solid fish, and I was totally stoked on it, but it wasn't the massive king I was looking for. So later that night, after dinner, we headed out in search of the monster that I was looking for. A big fish out here is a fish that they typically say is a fish over 30 pounds. That kind of fish is called a tai, which in the native tongue means chief, boss, or king. We trolled around for a few hours, and we're hoping that we would get a big fish in the small bite window we had. The head of the lodge had told us at dinner time that the bite would turn on at 9 o'clock p.m. sharp. And boy, he was right. At this point, I was kind of giving up all hope of getting my giant trophy fish this day, and was just trying to take in the beautiful sunset that was coming in the beautiful sky. I was pretty content with my trip so far, and stoked on my 16-pounder I'd caught earlier that day. At this point, I was pretty much giving up on all hope that I would catch a big fish, and was content with this small little coho for the night. But at that moment, when almost all hope for catching a big fish was gone, my rod popped off the downrigger. This fish felt like a real one. Right after it popped off the clip, it didn't feel huge, but then, as I brought my line in, tension was regained on my line, and this fish just took off, peeling on a gnarly run. At that moment, I also noticed my GoPro wasn't recording, so I finally turned it on and started filming the fight. And I mean, this fight was absolutely insane.
We're on.
This is a good fish, dude.
Who knows what this could be?
This thing is just dogging me. It's playing back and forth. It's trying to stay down, trying to stay deep, trying to avoid me at all costs. And I am getting pretty darn tired fighting this fish. I mean, this is a taxing fight, right here.
Fish, dude. Yeah, dude.
That run at the surface
this is like the one yesterday.
Really?
Yes, this is a good fish, dude. Yeah.
Just from how this thing's fighting, it is obviously a huge king salmon. At this point, I'm pretty stressed out because this fish is obviously absolutely massive. I haven't had a single big fish on this entire trip, and this fish is fighting different than any fish I had ever fought in my entire life.
Is your GoPro going?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you go? Can you get down?
Maybe. I'm not focusing on that. I just want to get
At this point, I am just winded. This thing is putting up an absolutely insane fight. I've been fighting it for almost like 15 minutes at this point, and it's still going hard and strong, and I'm just cranking and trying to bring this fish up.
I know.
But I had no clue at the size of the fish I was about to pull up.
Coming, he's coming. Oh, he's big. Oh my gosh. Buddy, that's huge. That is a great fish. That's huge. Oh, yeah!
Me and my dad were just in total shock, and this thing was insane. Here's a few pictures of this thing. It was just massive. In the net, barely fit in the net. I could barely hold it. I mean, this thing was huge. Look at this. This is a giant fish. This thing blew my mind. So we throw it in the fish box and head back. The sun's setting. It's a beautiful night. I feel super accomplished, super relieved, and I'm really excited to get a weigh-in on this fish. To be a Tyee, these fish have to be over 30 pounds, and I'm praying that this fish will be over 30 so that I can be part of the Tyee club that is famous in BC. The lodge we're staying at actually gives away special hats to the members who go there and actually catch fish over 30 pounds. So I'm super hoping that this fish weighs in over 30 so that I can get a sweet hat and be part of the club. The Tyee Club actually originated in British Columbia. It originated on the Vancouver Island on the Campbell River, and it's just been a super famous, long-lasting tradition, and it would be such an honor to catch a fish over 30 and be in the 30-pound Tyee Club. So we're rushing as fast as we possibly can to get back to the lodge because every minute counts when you're trying to get a weigh-in on these fish. So we finally get in, and I put my fish on the scale, and man, my heart is pounding. I'm hoping against all hope that this fish is over 30 pounds.
Oh, dude.
30. 33.
Say add a
30.
pound. Add a pound.
Add a pound. 30, 34 and a half.
34 and a half.
You made it. Wow. You made it.
I made it.
Dude, you did.
Let's go.
You got the Tyee. 34
And this fish ended up being the biggest fish in the entirety of the lodge that any of the guests in the whole lodge ended up catching that whole trip. I got crowned. It was absolutely fantastic. This fish was amazing. And I am forever going to remember this trip and this fish. This was a life-changing experience. So if you haven't yet, anybody who's viewed this viewer, I would really appreciate it if you'd like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It would mean a lot to me and my channel. I really appreciate all you guys who've been viewing my videos and giving my channel support. And also, I'll leave in the link some other videos that I think you guys might like if you enjoyed this one. So, thank you. Please stay tuned. You guys get on the water, go whack some awesome fish. And I highly recommend, if you guys ever want to do this trip, I'll leave in the link in the description below, this lodge, so you guys can go up to BC and catch fish just like this one. All right, friends, I love you all. Thanks for watching this video. Tight lines, and God bless.